Welcome back to HFA's Wishing We Were Fishing podcast, the podcast where we wish we were fishing, but instead we're making a fishing podcast. The weather this winter has been awful, so I've been stuck inside and decided to make the best of it and record a bunch of podcasts for you guys. I've also turned on the community tab of the Wishing We Were Fishing podcast YouTube channel so you guys can ask questions, have conversations with other fishy folks, and post your successful catches. At least that's the idea. I don't actually know exactly what the community tab on YouTube is, but I know that I have it set so that if you've been subscribed to the channel for more than a day, you can participate. Anyways, now that we have that out of the way, in this podcast I'm talking with Chris from Flicky Flies about YouTube, Tenkara fishing, why he's switching over to fly fishing, and much, much more. So without further ado, let's get into the podcast. So, Andrew's not here, or Andrew looks a lot different today than normal. But we have our first ever guest. So it's Chris, aka Flicky Flies. I don't remember how we got connected, but I don't remember if you left a comment on one of the videos or something like that.
Yeah.
But I remember I went and watched one of your videos. This was like years and years and years ago. And I don't watch too many fishing videos anymore just because I like to be inspired, but I don't necessarily want to like copy people. So I try not to watch too many, especially like fly fishing or trout fishing videos. But I remember I watched yours and like the quality was so good. Like your editing, like the filming was so good that I was like, this dude's got some legit videos. And then we fished together shortly thereafter. But yeah, I don't remember how we got connected, but he makes some seriously good fly fishing videos. And some of your old stuff was Tenkara. I don't know if you still have some Tenkara videos you're going to come out with or not, but
a few. Yeah.
A few. I know you're going into the fly fishing, a lot more fly fishing content now. But his videos are really good, so go check them out. So usually how we start this is we usually answer some questions, and I'm just going to pose some questions to you because, to be honest with you, the last podcast, if you guys are listening to this, the last podcast came out literally yesterday. So not many comments have been asked yet. But I posed some questions in the last YouTube video, and some of it we've actually talked about. So Chris and I, we talk quite a bit about YouTube behind the scenes. We bounce ideas off each other and stuff like that. And one of the things I've been testing was AI thumbnails, which we've talked about a lot. Neither one of us like the ideas of them, but I just wanted to see what people thought. And we actually do have some feedback from some people that listen to the podcast. And overall, most people are just like, I don't care. Which I'm not super shocked by it. That's what Andrew said too. He said, I don't really care as long as it represents what's in the video, then cool. It doesn't matter. Let's see. I had one guy say that AI is fine. It's kind of like just like an advanced form of Photoshop, which kind of makes sense. And then one guy said it's a great tool, especially if it helps you reach new people. So most people seem to be generally supportive of it. But what do you think?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a tough question. As a creative, I really don't love AI and kind of where it's bringing things, the world in general, this push that we're all supposed to be really into AI. It's kind of gross to me, but I love AI for, I can see it for lots of professional reasons. I think it's a really powerful tool. I think it could help, kind of humanity as a whole. Like if we get AI in, inspecting X-rays and stuff like that. Like I love the idea of using that technology. From a creative perspective, though, it's tough. I think that ultimately, though, like a thumbnail it's almost kind of like an impulse buy at like the grocery store, right?
Yeah.
It's like a quick kind of throwaway thing. Not to us as YouTubers, because like we put a lot of thought into it. But for people and for myself, when I'm just kind of relaxing, scrolling YouTube, ultimately it's like, does the thumbnail catch your attention or not? Exactly. I'm not dissecting it. I'm not thinking about, necessarily if it's going to deliver or not, And I know your recent thumbnail was kind of a camping oriented one, and it shows the tent kind of close to the creek and stuff.
Yeah, that
And
was the last
so
one that
that's
I
like,
tested. And I just tested
yeah,
that one and I looked at it again. And those of you who don't have YouTube channels aren't going to totally get this, but the watch time share on the thumbnail that I slaved endlessly over with Photoshop and real photos had like 38% of the watch time. And the one that I made with AI in about, took me maybe 10 minutes to put two photos together, has 60% of the watch time, over 60% of the watch time, which is nuts because normally when you compare two thumbnails, it's like really close or like negligible. Like one will get 38, one will get 39, and one will get 37 or something close. And you're just like, this like whichever one you like. So for one to be like that obviously different is still crazy to me. And yeah, I agree with you. I don't like AI. Like the idea of AI to me in like the fishing space to me is insane. And I don't really like it. But then again, if that's like the trend for YouTube to get recognized on YouTube, if you think about it, when I was talking to Andrew, we looked through YouTube and almost every YouTube thumbnail we saw on like 1 million plus subscriber channels had some amount of AI on it. So it's like, it's like, I told Andrew, I was like, am I being like the old dude on Facebook that like, I'm not going to join social media because it's bad for people, you know? And when all the young kids are like, what's wrong with Facebook or what's wrong with Twitter or Instagram or whatever it may be. So I don't know. I'm going to continue to test it. Like, I think with all my new videos, I'm going to do like one thumbnail that I compose with AI and then one of just my regular thumbnails and keep testing it.
Yeah. And it'll be interesting to see if that percentage difference continues down the road or not.
I agree.
I don't know if it's like the cartoony kind of over the top, like things are saturated, things are very clear in the thumbnail. I think that translates really well to
I agree
being like really clickable. So I think that's kind of what it boils down
to. If you look at like,
it is crazy.
Go ahead.
I mean, like I always thought your thumbnails were like really solid, like Photoshop wise. Like it's a stupid little thing, but like in Photoshop, like one of my things that I try to make them like pretty natural in general. And then it'll be like a third person view of me in like the most incredible place I can find. Like that's kind of my formula.
For sure.
And then I always add like a little white like stroke around, you know, me and the fishing rod.
Yeah.
Sometimes the line and whatnot.
Got to.
Dude, I don't know how you do it. Like literally like you're with your GoPro thumbnails, like the line is always like, it's perfect and it looks so natural. And like every time I'm like, I swear, dude, I think about you like all the time. I'm in Photoshop, like messing around and I'm like zoomed into like 1500%, you know, and I'm like clicking like the line, like trying to like get the white outline to go in the right place. And then I look at it and like, I just feel like it looks like trash. And I feel like yours always looks so natural.
Dude, it takes like, you kind of have to be like when I'm out fishing, I'm constantly just looking around. Cause like, if you don't have good lighting with the GoPro, trash. You can't like, the GoPro quality isn't high enough that you can mess with the lighting and make it look good like you can on a big camera. So I'm always looking for good lighting, try to get the best lighting. And then I'm always trying to make the colors pop as much as possible. And then, I think I've just been doing that for so long now that I can do it. I get annoyed because it is tedious because I zoom in and then I usually just freehand it with my mouse.
So that is what you're doing then?
Yeah, I'm freehanding it. Usually.
I was never good at drawing, so that might be my problem.
I did draw quite a bit. I also painted. So
there you go.
I don't do it anymore, but maybe. I don't know. But that first person thumbnail I feel like has just become like what I do. And I think people expect that. And I have third person thumbnails that do well, but usually just like across the board, my first person like holding a rod thumbnails just always do well. So I'm going to try to keep that style going. But it's super easy to do like the first person thumbnail. Like one of the AI ones I tested on this last video was that pet store one. And it was like me holding a rod. And then in the left hand, I just AI'd the pet store thing that I had. Like I put it in my hand. So it's like super easy to like AI some interesting stuff first person as well. As long as you have a good first person thumbnail to begin with. So
sure. And I will say, you know, one of my main gripes with AI is like copyright issues. So like AI algorithms are training on the entirety of the internet, which means all of my photos I've ever taken everything I've ever said is like integrated into this model.
Yep.
And if you really look into AI, like it's kind of BS, like that,
Oh yeah,
that it creates
100%.
its own. Like it's not creating, it's mixing and matching, it's stealing from here, stealing from there. But
Yep.
if you're feeding it your own images,
Which is what I did.
like the PetSmart bag, your hand, the scenery or your camping thing, like I really actually don't have a problem with it. It's more just like a knee-jerk kind of reaction.
Yeah. No, I agree. And that's part of the reason why I did it the way that I've done it is that I like have a photo of my tent and camping stuff because obviously you get B-roll of all that while you're out there. Yeah. And then I got B-roll.
It's just as convenient for
and I
us
got
to do it that way. Yeah.
B-roll of the stream that I'm fishing or a first-person thumbnail that I actually used, and then I just put it in chat or something. I'm like, hey, put this tent from the second photo into the first photo on the side of a bank. And I guess it does generate the side of the bank, but other than that, it's like Photoshop, really, to be honest with you. But it's easier because, admittedly, like, could I create that and make it look that good on Photoshop? Me personally, probably not. I know someone could, but I don't have the skills on Photoshop to do that.
That takes a lot of skill.
So that's one gripe I have with it in general, is that it takes a lot of the skill out of something that used to take forever and a lot of expertise to figure out. And now it's just kind of like, oh yeah, no, I made that in like 10 minutes because I gave ChatGPT like 3 things. I was like, hey, put this over here, make this, So that's a little bit.
And you got all these job listings nowadays for people that are trying to like say that they're professional ChatGPT like prompt engineers.
What does that mean?
It means they know how to like coax the machine in the direction they want, but like that's so ridiculous to me. I hate it.
Another question that I posed in the last video was, like when we used to find streams, we'd like Google them, or maybe you'd read a book. I thought of this after I recorded the podcast, but there's like dozens of books out there that like will literally go down and list the names of streams, and especially the more popular states. That have like good wild trout populations. And I posed the question of like, is like cruising social media and doing stuff like, like searching up Colorado brown trout in social media and then like seeing if they tag where it's at, or just looking at the background and figuring out where fish might be, or watching a YouTube video where someone's not super careful about the landmarks or something like that.
Yeah.
Is that just not a new form of scouting for new water, similarly to like how I used to Google like big brown trout Colorado, and it would pop up with 3 rivers and I would blue line from there? If you do the same thing on social media, how different really is that? Or reading a book versus social media? It's kind of all the same in a weird way.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It's absolutely the same. And
so
I do the same stuff. I do that all the time. Like, if I see a crazy picture on Instagram, or like, for me, it's not necessarily like a crazy fish on Instagram, as you know, because I'm all about the dinks.
Yeah,
but
you like you like the beauty of the spot.
Yeah. Like if I see someone fishing in some crazy spot, like I'm definitely gonna go look at the hashtags and be like, okay, like they're in New Mexico, and then like try to dive down on that, and then I'll look at their post history and see like if they've posted like a trip report from somewhere like close by to zero it in. Like you can do a lot if you
That's
go down
what
that
I said.
I
told Andrew, I was like, how many places I found on Instagram that people like blur out the background of their brown trout pictures, which by the way I think is ugly. Like just don't post a photo personally.
Or
they
just
blur
like,
out the background. Go ahead.
No, I agree. Ugly. You don't need to blur out the background. Just like get a shot of it in the water, or like a little lower, whatever.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you're gonna do that, take a photo in the water. I posted that on a reel for the podcast, and people lost their mind. They're like, "No, I like blurred backgrounds. Like it's good. Like it keeps the spot secret." And I'm like, you could have taken a billion different photos that don't involve you holding the fish up like this. Like just admit that you want your face in the photo, and you don't really care about the spot burn. You know what I mean? Like just whatever. That's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say is like someone will blur out the picture of their brown trout that they catch, but then they'll post a picture of their little rainbow trout, not blurred background, same stream. Oh, thank you.
That's what
what
I'm talking about. Like you got to look at the post history. Yeah, and just find stuff in proximity. You're good to go.
100%. 100%. Yeah. We've talked about like that, like the spot burning hypocrisy several times on this podcast. Just like people who, get mad at A or B, whoever it may be, for fishing their spot. And then you go on to their profile and it's like them posting fish after fish after fish after fish from the spot. And it takes like very minimal research to figure out where they're at, It's like,
yeah.
What are we talking about here?
Yeah.
And then I have a bunch of people in the comments telling me, they're like, no, I completely disagree with you. I'm going to continue fishing my secret spot. And I'm like, you just proved everything I just said, but all right.
Yeah. I mean, we're kind of you more so because your channel is obviously a lot bigger, but we're kind of the funnel of thoughts and feelings and comments of people as a whole, like right or wrong, so you get all sorts of weird takes for sure.
Yeah. I put like in the title for the last video or the last podcast that just came out, I said like AI and fishing ? Because I knew people would be like, what is he talking about? Their video got posted, and within 2 minutes of the video posting, some guy commented and was like, there should be no AI in fishing. AI is total BS. This is dumb. And I responded back as like, first of all, I agree. Second of all, it's 2 minutes into the podcast. There's no way you could even know what we were talking about in that podcast. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like, but I mean, that's a comment, that's engagement. So it's like part of the game you play. Like, admittedly, I knew putting that in the title was probably going to get at least one guy to be upset over nothing.
For sure.
Because it just winds people up. But
good attention or bad attention, unfortunately it's like a story as old as the internet, right?
Yeah. So it's like, I think when you decide to put stuff online or do like YouTube or something, especially when you start to get a following, you have to have like your own moral compass as to what you want to do and don't want to do. So it's like, for me, and I'm not saying that people can't figure out where I'm fishing from my YouTube videos, but I'm never going to tell you where I'm fishing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you want to find it by like doing all this research on like, where's John catching the big Colorado Browns or big West Virginia Browns or big wherever interstate name, then like more power to you. I think that like I did the same research to find the spots that I found the spots in to begin with, found the big fish in to begin with. But I'm not going to go out and tell you like, hey, like, okay, I'm here on X river and I'm going to be fishing with this fly and this is the technique I'm going to be using to catch these fish. Because then at that point, that's insane to me.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But I had a comment on my one video from Tennessee, and the guy was like, I don't really want to know the exact location, but can you give me the town you're closest to, the river name, what state? And I was just like, is this a joke comment? But I think it was dead serious
as well.
Yeah, I was like, this can't be real. I felt like penning the comment just to see what people said. Like, there's just no way. Like, oh my gosh, it's insane.
Yeah, and people get mad too if you don't tell them where you're at.
Oh,
which
absolutely.
It's hard, but at the same time, it's like even a small YouTube channel has like a lot of power. Like, imagine like 7,000 folks like showing up throughout the year.
Yep.
At like some little creek that you had to, find the hard way or like hike into or whatever. Mm-hmm. And hiking into places, I think generally does, like that's one of my favorite things to do. Just
absolutely,
to avoid,
same.
Kind of more people in general, obviously.
Yep.
But yeah, it's kind of a lot of responsibility, I think, as YouTubers or on Instagram or whatever to not necessarily spot, because even if you think that it's fine and everybody has rights to the water, and I get why people think that way, but I don't think they're really thinking about it like in a subtle enough or nuanced way where it's like, like this is our public water, like for sure, but like if I manage to find it, you can manage to find it, and just because I'm showing it and making it look pretty and stuff, like there are like, I mean, 95% of the water out there I haven't found yet. Like, I know there's insanely beautiful, crazy stuff out there that fishes really well, that doesn't have people that I don't know about. And that's part of the fun is like, putting in the work and like, and then actually getting your boots on the ground. Like once you do all the behind the scenes work and like seeing how it pans out, and man, when it does, it's like, it's so rewarding. And
I get this,
I don't want to be all like,
I was going to say, I get this like surreal feeling, and I'm sure you get the same thing when you do so much research on a watershed. And you're like, all right, I went on, like, I love going on to like, what's that hiking app that tells you like the trail, all trails?
All trails,
And
yeah.
I found so many trout streams that way, like with like especially
Yeah,
with like
that's a really good
alpine
one too.
lakes and like looking at waterfall hikes and stuff. Because same thing you're doing. Like if I'm gonna be fishing for like cutthroat or brook trout or any native
Yeah,
trout, and I'm like, oh, I kind of want to just fish somewhere pretty. Like if I'm gonna catch them, I know they're not gonna be bigger than 12 inches, so let's find somewhere cool to go. And like I'll be on all trails looking up thing, and sometimes someone will be like, "Oh yeah, beautiful hike. I saw some fish in the water when I crossed the stream." I'm like,
yeah.
perfect.
Totally.
But
Yeah,
when you do so much research on a watershed and stuff, and you look at these waterfalls or look at pictures online and stuff like that, and then when you actually get there, you're like, ah, so this is what it actually looks like. This is what it feels like to hike into this
yeah,
canyon. Because,
totally.
dude, like we've both been to some same places, like in New Mexico and stuff,
Yeah.
in Arizona. It's like you go there, and it's like you look at a map, and you're like, oh, that hike won't be that hard. You
I
get
was
in
just
there,
gonna
it's
say
like a
that too. Yeah.
cliff, and you're like, dude, this is a
Dude,
disastrous
I
mistake.
I'm the worst about that. Like I am so dumb. Like I'm always looking at topo maps and I see the lines, they're close together, and I'm like, what, like it looks steep, but like it should be fine. And then it's like a cliff,
It's a
and it's just
literal
like
cliff. And
just like
the trail is like winding back and forth on the cliff. And then
yeah.
like there's one spot I got to, I think this was in New Mexico or somewhere in the Southwest. And I got down to the bottom, and the trail just went straight down this rock chute to get down to the creek. And like
Yeah.
it was a trail, but like in like the roughest sense of the term, and that like the rocks moved. It wasn't that bad going down. But when you're going up, it was like walking on sand straight up a cliff. It
Oh
was
yeah.
atrocious. I remember looking at
New
Andrew, and I was
Mexico
like,
is
I'm not
brutal.
going to make it up this hill. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, this might take me out, you know?
Totally. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. Another thing I was going to say is that, like, in my videos, people ask me all the time, like, oh, what flies are you using? Or how are you catching these fish? And I think what a lot of people don't understand is that in some of the videos, I'm not telling you what I'm using on purpose. Like, if you're smart enough to, like, look and be like, oh, it looks like he's using a jig streamer. Sure. You know,
Yeah.
but you don't know how much weight's on that jig streamer. You don't know
Yeah.
like the colors. You don't necessarily know what hooks we're using, the whole nine, you know, like, so you might go out there and try to figure that out, but it may not work the same.
Do
People
you
always
do
want to
that
know.
because
I was just gonna say, people
do you
always want to know what we're using, and I have started to respond to people. I'm like, do you ever think that like I'm not telling you what I'm using on purpose? You know, like
yeah, yeah.
if I'm fishing a uber popular section of some tailwater somewhere, and I don't tell you what I'm using, maybe it's because I don't want all 50,000 people to go there and throw the exact same thing I'm throwing. You know, at least if you're going to recognize it, at least let you guess as to where I'm going to fish, or what fly you're going to fish to catch the same thing I caught, you know. But
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
I don't know if that's a flawed thought process.
So do you place you mentioned like pressured tailwaters, obviously. Like do you place a lot of importance in that knowledge? In fly
Yeah,
choice and
yeah,
you do. Yeah.
I do.
See,
Because I think,
that's I think you're a lot better fisherman than I am. Like I think we all know that. Like for me, you're it's about the place and whatnot. So like my goal, instead of learning what fly, it generally like I want to know, am I in the right size range? And I
yeah,
have confidence flies and whatnot, but I also just don't really fish like those places that have big fish or pressured
yeah, I know.
fish
Because
where I don't necessarily think it matters for me as much.
we were talking the one day, and you asked me about one spot, and you said, I don't remember what you asked, and I said, yeah, it might be good, but it really depends on like if the fish are pre-spawn or something about that. And your response was,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know any of that stuff, dude. I'm just trying to catch some fish. I was like, oh well.
Well, so wait, how do they have babies?
Yeah, what are you talking about? Like, what? It was something about, I don't remember. It was the timing on something. I was like, you might not want to do it
Yeah,
right now. I'd wait like a couple weeks, and you're like, oh, okay. I didn't even.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
even pay
You
attention
and
that
this
much
is
to
in
that.
my state. Keep in mind,
Yeah,
you're all the
yeah.
way across the country, and you're like, well, I think they're gonna drop the flows in like a week, and that would be good for like post spawn or something. And I was like, what? Like,
There's two things. To be fair, Andrew also lives out there. Second thing is,
yeah.
I have a couple buddies that are just geek out on stuff like that. Like I have buddies that
Okay.
like they
Yeah.
watch the CFS on rivers across the country, and then they'll text me and be like, "Where are you right now?" And I'm like, "I'm sitting in West Virginia. What are you talking about?" He's like, "You have to get to Colorado right now. They dropped the CFS on this river down to blank, 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 and like, or raised it to this or whatever it is. And like last time I was there on April of 2023, and it was the exact same CFS. I caught it, whatever. And I'm like, dude, first of all, I'm not going out there. Second of all, thank you for all this information. I'll try to remember it, but yeah, it's all that stuff it's funny, but I don't remember what we were talking about, to be honest with you, other than I was talking about the flies, the putting importance on flies. Yeah. I was gonna say, I don't think that flies are. I'm a big believer that the pattern is important to a degree, but it's not that crazy. Like, you know, there's some popular tailwaters in Colorado. There's tailwaters all across the country, out east where I'm at, that people are like, you have to throw 6 or 7X and it has to be a size 20. That's just not true. But I do think that there are little things that like can give you an edge up. Like, you know, if you're throwing a streamer, it's like I might say like, oh, I'm throwing streamers for this video, which is true. But I don't say like how much weight is on my streamer, or like, you know, it could be something as simple as like, yeah, you might see I'm throwing a black streamer, but I have a black streamer and it has like a chartreuse tail. Or I don't know. These are totally made up. But there are things that I think do give me, give myself a slight edge over what other people are going to be throwing. And I know that because I threw something that I bought at a fly shop and it didn't work. And then we tied up something. And then we take it out there, and it's just like bam, bam, bam. And we're like, okay, I'm still gonna say I'm using a leech or whatever it is, because that's what we're throwing. Yeah. But like, if you go to the fly shop and buy the leech at the fly shop, it's not gonna fish the same. You're not gonna catch the same fish, you know. So stuff like that, where like I don't go into detail on it, but there are things that can give you like just a little leg up.
Yeah. No,
so
I feel that,
and especially on like the really pressured tailwaters, like some of the ones out east and stuff, where it's just like, you know, I might be experimenting with different weights, different size flies, different tippet ranges, all this different thing. And someone's like, what's your rig? It's like, dude, I'm not telling you. It took me 6 hours to figure out what rig it was that would actually catch the fish, you know?
Right. Yeah.
But,
yeah.
All right. So let's get on to, I got some questions for you. One is, I just wanted to know like what your craziest or favorite fishing story or something that happened while you were filming like one of your videos was, just out of curiosity, one that just comes to the top of your head.
There was okay, one time my friend Travis, he's in a lot of my videos, so we're hiking up to this alpine lake in Rocky Mountain National Park, and we didn't even intend to go all the way up. It's a cutthroat stream and ultimately a cutthroat lake up there. Yeah. And we were going to fish just the creek on the way down. And it was just kind of one of those things where before we knew it, like we were like we saw a sign and we're like half mile from the lake. And I think it was like, I don't know if I saw it right. It was like 11 or so miles. So it was a long way, but yeah, dude, it was like one of the longest hikes I've done in Rocky. Yeah. Anyways, there's some people up there because it's rocky, you know, like you can't really escape people. But we fished for a while, and just out of nowhere, like, so I have, you know, I always do my third person camera setup, so I have my tripod set up, and I got my stupid little microphone or my GoPro mic, and I turn them both on, and then I make some noises to like sync them up. It's like a whole ordeal. It's stupid. Yeah. So I do this, and then like, out of nowhere, this freaking guy like walks over like I don't know if he was like high on like shrooms or
probably
like something.
It's Colorado.
And, like exactly. He was like a zombie, and he shuffled over and got basically like in between me and the camera, and he's kind of just like looking around and like, dude, like gone. And like he was just in like normal clothes, like jeans, you know, just like so out of place. And my friend Travis is kind of looking back like, you know, and like, and he kind of like, I feel like he kind of like mumbled some words, and then he kind of just like shuffled away. And so we always talk about him. We call him the Wanderer. And it was
That's
just
so
like,
funny.
and he kind of just wandered away. Like we never saw him again. And
Dude,
my camera has this like, so it's the worst, dude. It's like if my battery dies in the
mhm,
middle of a clip, it will erase the entire instead of writing it and
yeah,
then like up to the point, it gets rid of
yeah,
the
yeah.
whole clip. So
That's
a lot of
crazy.
times like, and that's kind of what that's part of the reason I switched back to using a GoPro in addition as well as like a bit of a backup, because a lot of
Yeah,
times like I work hard all day, I got all the B-roll, everything's going well, and like now I just need to like finish the puzzle and like get a fish or whatever. And like I've had it like happen so many times where like I land the fish, I'm like, yeah, and I go back to the camera and just black screen, and like I'm
oh
like, oh my God,
no,
like the
dude,
battery died.
that's
And
the
that's what happened
awful.
during the when the Wanderer came, my battery died, or else I would have had that moment captured forever, and I would
That's
have shared
so
it with you
funny.
because
Dude, I've
it
I've
really
seen
was
some
even better than I
crazy
could
things at
can tell.
Alpine Lakes myself. Like I
Yeah.
dude, the craziest people go up to Alpine Lakes, first of all, because I don't know that I've hiked something like 8 or 9 miles, which dang near killed me, by the way. So 11 miles is crazy.
I was dead for like 3 days
Oh,
afterwards.
I believe it. I believe it. But I've
Yeah,
gone up
yeah,
there and
yeah.
there've been people that like are like I remember one lake we hiked all the way up to. We get all the way up there. I was actually filming a video, and then all of a sudden, like this big group of people show up, and they're just like stripped down, totally naked, and start swimming in the lake. And I'm like, well, now what
I
am I
that,
supposed to?
that's
I can't
was this in
film this.
Colorado?
Yeah, it was in Colorado. I was like,
That sounds right.
I know. I was like, well, I can't film this now, and I really don't want to be here because I feel like I'm a creep because I'm just like, everybody's running,
Yeah.
swimming in a lake, and I'm trying to fish. I'm like, I remember I looked at Andrew. I was like, I guess we just leave now. Like, I guess this is their lake
I
now.
guess
Like, what are you
the
supposed
lake
to
is
do?
closed. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
the fish are tainted. It's over.
I mean, I think they're just like some free spirited individuals, but
Yeah.
that I think that's happened like twice to me in Alpine Lakes, where people just
Really?
go up there and they just strip down naked and they get in the lake, and I'm like, they know
You
I'm
should go.
there.
Yeah, you should go over and get like a model consent form from them just to make sure they're okay with
It's like,
it.
guys, you're gonna be on YouTube, I think. So like, you guys sign
Yeah,
this
yeah, no,
consent
you
form.
will be. Yeah, yeah.
No, but I luckily that one, the specific one I'm talking about, that one, I'd already caught the fish I wanted to catch, and to be honest with you, that Alpine Lake was at like 12,500 feet or something, and or
Yeah.
maybe it was close to 13,000, and my head was rocking. Like I was getting some altitude sickness, so I probably should have been leaving anyways. So it wasn't a huge
Yeah.
deal. But yeah, I've also been up there at like 12,000 feet and like struggling, like trying my best to get up to the top, where the lake is, and had like
Yeah.
old men like run past me on the trail, and I'm like, dude,
Dude,
all right.
I mean, it's embarrassing, dude. I live here and like people like crush me all the time. Anytime
Yeah,
I go
dude.
out mountain biking, like people crush me, like hiking. It's like a thing, dude. Like if you live in Colorado or if especially if you're born here, like
Yeah,
you're just like yeah, an athlete always.
I guess, dude. I
Yeah.
guess. Um,
But
all
I
right.
haven't become one yet. I've been here since 2017. I don't know what's going on with me.
It takes a little bit more time. I think it's like after a decade, so you got
An
one more
effort
year.
probably too.
One more year, and you'll be all right.
Okay, good, good, good.
Yeah. So next question is, why'd you call your YouTube channel Flicky Flies? Like, what was the thought process behind that?
It's like a mixture of things that all kind of like. So my wife and I and my son, we were driving back from Chicago back to Colorado. It's like a 13-hour drive, and we were probably delirious at this point because I remember it happened like late at night, like right in Wyoming, right as we were about to get into Colorado. I'd been wanting to start a fly fishing YouTube channel for a while because I have the photography background, and I actually had a tiny little like photography YouTube channel actually before this one. I think it has like 200 subs or something like that. But I would like go out and like kind of like the same format actually, and just like film myself photographing and whatnot. So I always wanted to do this. But anyways, we're driving home and we're just kind of like brainstorming ideas for YouTube channel names, and we came up with all sorts of stuff like fly tie guy and like just like a brainstorm session, like
Yeah,
some
yeah.
bad stuff and some good stuff. And I always kind of like the idea of like something that was like very memorable, I guess, or something that was kind of almost nonsensical. And like, all these big companies have weird names.
Yeah.
Google,
Yeah. Yeah.
Oracle, like whatever, it's like all sorts of just kind of random names. So instead of like saying, kind of something more literal, I just wanted something that was a little weirder. So I like the alliteration.
Yeah.
I liked so we were kind of just like literally spitballing like words, and we were like, oh, I like the alliteration of that, and it'd be kind of funny, like people could call me Flicky or whatever, which has turned out to be true. Like that's just like my persona now, which is hilarious. And I also liked that it tied in with like the Flicky had like two meanings, because I was fishing Tenkara at the time, so you really kind of like, instead of casting it, you're kind of like flicking the fly out there, right?
That's what I
like
thought
a
it
Euro
was.
rod or whatever.
A play on.
And that's really what it was. But then the more I thought about it, it was like also like it sounds like a flick, like a movie, like a cinema flick, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Right. So I was like, I kind of like the double meaning of that. So it stuck.
Yeah.
That's it.
My YouTube channel name, I wish it was something different so badly. If I could rechange it,
Really?
I would like. When I first made that, I was like fresh out of college. No, I was still in college. I'm sorry. I was a senior in college. Yeah. So your decision making then is just atrocious, anyways.
Yeah, just
and
right on the spot. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was sitting there. I was sitting there with like my college roommates, which again, that's awful. That's an awful way to start out a YouTube channel. I was like, what should I call it? And we went through all these names. We're like, no, we didn't. I didn't want to do anything like, even though I wanted to do like trout fishing, fly fishing, that type of stuff, like bass. I didn't want to pigeonhole myself into like one particular type of fishing, because I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like I didn't really have a grand plan. And I was like, I could do Hardman fishing adventures, and this was a little bit like when I was first making this channel. This was before there was like 50 channels that was like blank fishing adventures, or there might have been one or two, but like that wasn't like, it's not like I saw someone do it and thought, I gotta hop on the train.
You were the first fishing adventure.
I don't think I was.
It's still cool.
It wasn't nearly as many people as there are now. Like as I was like, I remember like within like the first 2 years I had the channel, I was like, this is just embarrassing at this point to even say what my name of the channel is. But then like hilariously, the original slogan that me and my buddies came up with was Hardman Fishing Adventures is like, I don't remember, something like fishing is hard, man. like hard comma.
Yeah,
man.
No, that totally sounds like literally something you'd come up with in college.
Yeah. So, but now it's like, it's embarrassing. But now I feel like I can't change it. If I change the channel, I feel like the views would just, you'd be like, who is this new channel? So you got to like.
No, that's too dangerous at this point.
You got to let it. I'm just gonna let it ride. Whatever. It's Hardman Fishing Adventures forever now.
I like it, man. I mean, that's you. Like, I mean, like, and honestly, you have this like kind of like down to earth like personality and fishing style, I think, in general, or like filming style.
Yeah, for sure.
That I think people really relate to a lot. And so I think just having like a not pretentious like channel name is probably perfect for you.
It probably has helped out in the long run, maybe, because when I made it, I was like, even when I made the channel, like I'd fly fish before, but I was mostly a spin fisherman. It's like the roots are all in just like conventional gear, like bass fishing, muskie fishing, that type of stuff, and trout fishing, but with the spinning rod. So then when I think like, you come up with a channel name and stuff, it's like now after being like solely dedicated to fly fishing for however many years, it feels like it would be a lot cooler.
Like fly fishing.
Yeah, or something.
Like
because
somehow,
I feel like that's what I do now, and that like even if I'm going to like muskie fish now, I fly fish for muskie, which is just absolute brain dead behavior, but that's what I do. So like, it'd be funny to do something along that lines now, like, but whatever, I'm sticking with it. It is what it is now. I keep thinking like one of these days I should go back and do like, like restart the old hashtag or the old like saying, be like, welcome back to Hardman Fishing Adventures, where fishing is hard, man.
That's definitely down to earth, but honestly, I feel like you're catching pretty good fish, so I feel like you don't want to look that sad or pathetic.
No.
I feel like you're not. Fishing is not hard, man.
Maybe that's what it was. Fishing isn't hard, man. I don't remember. Maybe that would be better. Fishing isn't hard, man.
There you go.
That would be way more on brand. Make a shirt. Somebody designed me a new shirt. So we're 40 minutes in. We've got about 14 people listening at this point. This is when you can ask people to do things because all the
really
casuals
invested.
are gone. Yeah.
Yeah,
At this
yeah.
point,
They're like, oh my god, he's talking
yeah,
about AI for.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, in the last podcast, Andrew and I talked about soccer for 15 minutes at the beginning of the episode. And then once we finished that, I was like,
Yeah.
all right, now for those of you that are still here, we got some questions for you.
Right. Yeah. Those devotees. I mean,
Yeah,
that is kind of podcast tradition, right? Where people just kind of like talk about whatever. But it's a
yeah.
fine line, though. It's a fine line. Like
It is a fine line. I
sometimes,
think,
depending on the
I think though, it's like, we joked, there's like not that many people listen to the podcast, but it's fun because the people that do listen to the podcast are super engaged. Like they'll leave
Right.
like lots of like comments, or they'll send emails in all the time and stuff and ask questions, which is, it's cool to see.
That's
it really
cool.
is. It's
Yeah.
more like,
That's probably
it's a lot
pretty
more
fun. Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot more personal than the big channel. Like the big channel, like so many people message and do all this stuff. It's like at some point I'm just not paying that much attention. Like the odds of me like reading
Yeah.
a new DM is like slim. But if you leave a
Right.
comment on the podcast channel, I'm probably going to read it
will
and I'm
be
probably
seen.
going to respond. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's
totally.
like,
Yeah.
it's much more personal, which I'm enjoying. It's fun. It's also fun to have like a new YouTube channel and like get to like mess around with it and see things grow or whatever it may be, you know, which is cool.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, my cat feeder just went off. So there's, I don't know if you hear that in the background.
I heard a little bit
I'm
of
surprised they
scratching.
haven't jumped up here and bothered me yet. Anyways.
You just touched on this a little bit, but why'd you start the YouTube channel? I know you said that you'd kind of wanted to start one for a while, but
Yeah, I mean, like, if you want to go, like, real far back, like, so I've been doing, I'm 38 now, and I've been doing nature photography since I was, like, a junior in high school. So, like, 20 years. It's just always kind of been my identity, right? Just, like,
yeah,
nature, capturing it, not drawing or painting. I always wish I could, but never could. And I had that previous YouTube channel. And anyways, yeah, to go way far back, like I remember watching BBC's Planet Earth when it first came out, like
Yeah.
literally right when it dropped. And dude, I just remember like having this like crazy like mixture of like being really inspired and impressed by the cinematography they were able to capture, but also this like feeling of like photos will never be as good as this. And I'm not
Yeah.
saying like I'm not comparing like BBC to me. I'm just saying like the mediums of like pictures
Yeah.
versus like moving pictures and like the story that they could create and how interesting that was. And I was young when I saw that, so that was kind of my gut feeling right away. And I think now I kind of feel like there is some power in like still moments that are captured, obviously. But yeah, man, I don't know. I just like always loved the idea of film, and there's so much more to it than photography in some
Yeah.
ways. There's more to think about, you know, not just on like a settings level, but the movement of the camera, stabilization, how things flow through the frame. It's just like there's just a lot to it. So I think it just really scratches like an itch creatively.
Yeah.
And you know, the idea of like doing something on YouTube and having people watch it is pretty awesome too. I'm
For sure.
I'm like a pretty creative person, but I'm not like very good at marketing, and I kind of hate it. Like I hate marketing and all the like I've
Yeah.
always said like the very most successful photographers are like definitely the ones that are good, but they're the ones that really like promote themselves and like they're good at marketing. Like I would say like 70% marketing and like 30% photography is like you're gonna make it. And so
Yeah.
I never really had that. Like I had like good friends that were like running workshops and like hustling and doing all this stuff, and me, I was just like, oh man, I just like taking pictures, you know, like I'm not trying to
Yeah,
like
yeah.
put myself out there
sure.
to. So the cool thing about YouTube is like I can pour my heart into making a video and like film it the best I can, edit it the best I can, and just like do everything, and then I just put it out there, and then
Yeah.
like it's just out there. And like yeah, there's like some businessy sides of stuff, like talking with sponsorships and blah
Yeah,
blah
yeah,
blah, but
yeah.
like it's a little more passive in that way. So it's like a lot of creative effort, and then you put it out there, and then you just like see how the world receives it. And I've like ended up really, that's really like done well with my particular style
It's
of
fun.
like not wanting to like actively hustle, like
Yeah,
if
yeah,
that
for
makes
sure.
sense, you know. So it's been
Yeah.
fun. I don't know if that answered your question, but yeah,
Yeah,
there
it
you go.
did. It did. I do think I was gonna say I think marketing too, unfortunately, like it does play a part in YouTube. But I
Mm,
think that like with your channel, first of all, if you haven't watched Flicky Flies, you should because the videos are really good. But I was gonna say that like it comes off in your video because it doesn't feel like you're trying to like promote anything necessarily. Like your videos are
yeah.
very like it's just like they start out and it's like close up of like a canyon wall and then like a bird flying in the sky and then it's like
Right.
have you ever thought about the way the water moves through the cracks of the rocks? And it's like I am now. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like
right, right.
but I like
Yeah,
that style because I do think it's a little bit different than like what YouTube is as a
yeah,
whole. And I think that
right.
your videos are doing really well as like because of that. Um,
Thanks, man.
but it's like funny like when I make a video like I'll make like two videos and a perfect example of this for me was when I went to Wyoming this summer and I my wife was with me on that trip and when we got done
Mm,
with the trip I got done and I was like even though it was probably my least favorite fishing experience the last video I filmed where I fished just a tiny little creek in a desert that's going to get the most views and she
mm,
was like why like that doesn't make sense and I was like because I know how I'm going to market it immediately like those
mm,
tiny creeks there shouldn't be fish here yada yada yada.
mm.
I knew how I was going to market it. Like as I was doing, I was like, this video is going to go crazy on YouTube,
Yeah,
and all the videos did
I
decently
watched that one.
well.
It was
Yeah,
cool.
all the videos did decently well. Like they, I don't remember. Maybe they had 100,000, maybe they didn't. Maybe like 50 to 100,000, and then I
Mm.
posted that video and just, it's got, oh gosh, it might have 700,000 views now. Like to the
Oh,
moon.
really?
It's still getting. It gets 1,000 views a day plus right now.
You
Over a
released that
thousand
one
views a
pretty
day.
recently, right?
Yeah,
That was like
that was in the
this
summer.
autumn or something.
That was August, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
So,
that's awesome, man.
but like purely because it was a marketing standpoint, I don't think like the content itself in that
Mm.
video it was cool that the fish were there, but it's like pretty much once I caught the fish, I was like, all right, I'm kind of done. Whereas like
It's a
some of
wrap.
the other
Yeah.
videos in that series, I liked filming better, but I knew as I was filming them, I was like, this will do well, but that last one is the one, just from a marketing
Yeah.
standpoint. Um,
Yeah. What did you title that one roughly? Do
I
you remember?
said, these fish shouldn't be here. Dot dot dot. The smallest stream I've ever fished, or something like that.
Okay, yeah. And it was too. Like
It was
it looks
stupid.
miserable.
It was not fun,
Like,
dude. I had some
yeah.
people. This is a common thing that happens to me. I fish a small stream, and people are like, "You should bring your Tenkara rod," and I'm like, "Are you out of your mind?" That would be harder because now I have a fixed set of
Because
line
it's
that I
too
have to
long.
like dangle. Yeah, it's too long, and it's just too
Yeah.
like a lot of times like when I'm like using my conventional fly gear, I'll literally like pull the fly up to like a foot from the rod tip and then just dap it in the water.
I did. I saw you doing that with that PetSmart video.
Yeah, yeah. It's like
Yeah,
the only way
yeah.
I could get it in there.
You had it. It was like right near the rod tip,
Yeah.
and you just popped it out. And I was
It's
like,
like you got to be
it works.
creative sometimes when you're out there to even get the flies where the fish are.
Yeah, you're so right. Like if as long as you weren't spooking the fish necessarily, like I don't think the extra length of a tenkara would ever help there.
No.
Like you want tenkara when you got plenty of casting space and you can do like honestly, tenkara is like dry fly fishing is the best.
Oh yeah,
Or
100%. It was fun.
like it's so delicate and
Hmm.
like you can manipulate the fly along the water like
And it's
it's
so
crazy effective for that.
you're like so in contact with what's going on. Like you can feel everything.
That
It's really
too,
fun to fight
instantly.
fish
Yeah.
on a Tenkara rod for sure, but it's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
feasible for like 80% of the situations. Do
Mm.
you
Yeah.
did you start out Tenkara fishing or like
I
why
d-
did you do Tenkara
I
fishing to begin
did.
with?
I've always been kind of a nerd with like just like weird stuff. Like I never like I mean like I'm looking over in the kitchen and I have like a weird like high-end like coffee grinder that's like a manual hand grinder with like beautiful burrs and like just like weird stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. I don't know how I like literally saw it for the first time, but as soon as I saw the idea of like a simplistic thing from like Japan and like I read, I
Yeah.
researched like heavily like the benefits and whatnot, I was like, oh, I gotta try this. Like I hyped myself up.
Yeah.
And then I was always, and the same friend Travis that I talked about earlier, like he's always been like a conventional fly fisherman. He does have a Tenkara rod. I think I kind of influenced him to try it out, but he like doesn't really love it. You know, he's like, I can see that it's like really fun to like fight the fish on it for sure. But he misses like the casting aspect. And at the time I didn't really know really what he meant by that. I mean, like obviously I knew, casting, I know what that means, but like I didn't have that like personal experience of it. So for me, in my mind, like, and I still do love Tenkara, and I'll probably keep filming some Tenkara videos here and there, but it excels at small stream water as long as you have room to cast. Yeah. Crazy good with dry flies. And also like the way that I would fish it was basically like Euro nymphing. So like, dude, like I had some crazy long rods. Like I had this 15-foot long rod that doesn't even have like a cork handle on it. It's just like pure like carbon fiber. Yeah. And you can cast that thing out. And like just think about like a 15-foot like triangle, you know? So I mean you're out there, and then plus the tippet and stuff, like you're out there like 30 feet away, which is more than enough. And you know, you're so in contact with that fly, and then when something hits, like you know immediately. Like there's no delay in that sensation. So I mean I could catch tons of fish on Tenkara. Like, so in my head I was like, this is like the best thing ever. And it totally is. But I have since learned, like since switching to fly rods, like that casting is like just so much fun. It is that fun. Trumps everything. Oh yeah. Like I don't think I catch as much fish yet, but I catch enough. There. And like there. It's so fun.
You'll end up when you get, I'm a big believer that like once you get like proficient, like good at fly fishing, there's not a more effective way to fish, period. I'm talking like even with like spinning gear or whatever it may be, like once you get proficient at fly fishing, it just trumps everything. But I do think, I was going to say Tenkara, like I broke my nice Tenkara rod last year, or maybe it was 2 years ago now. I don't know. I've had no reason to buy another one. The reason being is that I enjoyed it. I did a lot of Euro nymphing, and I did some dry fly stuff with a Tenkara rod. It was fun from a standpoint of like when I wanted like a challenge. In other words, like when I was like, okay, how am I going to get like this close to the brook trout? Well. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or like, let me see how big of a fish I can land on this Tenkara rod. Until I broke my Tenkara rod when I hooked like a 20-inch rainbow, and it was not made for it. I was like, I wonder if
I was going to say, I remember the rod that you had though. It was like a super nice, like Japanese, like Nissan rod. So like it was not made for trout that big. No.
Well, when I did research on Tenkara rods, I was like, I feel like my first Tenkara rod has to be like a Japanese Tenkara rod, since like they were the ones that originally came up with it. So I got that one and I loved it. I still have it. It's one piece I probably could get it fixed, to be honest with you, but it's just so unrealistic from a standpoint of like the places I fish. I don't have the casting room for it.
I was just going to say that.
That was the problem.
I think out west, I was able to mold Tenkara into all sorts of weird places. Yeah. Like I had this freaking Tenkara rod called the Rodzilla by Wasatch Tenkara rod company, and it is like, it's like pretty hard to cast because it's so freaking big. Like you'll get tired after a while, but I caught like 30-inch carp on it. And dude, like that's crazy. If you ever want to go do something ridiculous together, like I'll take you out to this reservoir out in eastern Colorado where the carp fishing is like insane. And the presentation that you can get on these carp with just a single line in the fly first, and you just land a little carp fly close to it, and it's like silent when it enters, you know, and you just twitch it right near them, and you feel you know, the gums over the fly.
You made a video on that, didn't you?
I have. I made like a couple. That's probably one of the Tenkara videos that I'm gonna film this upcoming season, as I want to get back out there and do that.
Yeah, it's a funny idea.
I think it's a fun and funny idea. Yeah, totally. But man, that first run when it's like you're hooked up to like something scary on the Tenkara rod, like when you have no real like line to give out.
Yeah,
it does. Yeah, it's like that's one of the cool things about Tenkara too that people don't realize is like when you're under tension, the line is so taut, and I think it's just like the current going over the line that it sings like a violin or something. So it's kind of a cool sound. Even
I remember that. I like that. I like that noise. The or whatever. You can't really make the noise, but as it goes upstream or in the water really fast or something like that. Yeah, you don't really get that.
I bet that rainbow trout made that noise right
It
before it
did.
broke
I
your
caught a
rod.
couple rainbow trout in that video. I caught a few, landed a few, and then it was actually on one I wasn't recording on. I was walking back down. I saw a big one just
Oh,
flew
really?
through. Yeah, I casted at it. He was going down through. It ate again, and I was like, I set into it, and I was like, oh, that's another big one. And I went to start recording. My battery was dead, and I was like, I'll just fight this one for fun because I already had the video. And I'm like
Yeah,
fighting it, and I was standing in the water with the fish, like just kind of playing it, waiting for it to kind of get tired. And then for like
yeah.
how rainbows do, for no reason, it was just like, I'm actually going up to the next hole in the creek. And it made one
Right,
big
right.
kick, and I didn't follow it quick enough. And instead of the line breaking, which is what I thought would happen, rod just went pow. And then I like was chasing the
Yeah,
rod piece up the stream, and I was like, well, that sucks.
totally.
I didn't really want to
Yeah,
break
yeah,
that rod, And I was even more
totally.
annoyed because I was like, at least if I'm going to do it, I want to like be recording for it. I wasn't even recording for it. So then I just had to
Seriously,
like,
you couldn't even get a I broke my rod on a 20-inch rainbow
no,
video out of
no,
it.
I couldn't. I
That
actually, I
sucks,
have
man.
a video that I'm going to film eventually. I bought some like uh, $5 Tenkara rods off of Temu. They're actually less than
Oh, nice.
$5. And I'm going to take them
Yeah,
back
yeah,
to
yeah.
that stream and just see if they break.
Yeah, yeah.
But they're
Is
like,
it the green one?
yeah. Oh yeah,
Are
the
they
green one
green?
is one of them. Yeah. And then but I have two
Yeah,
more.
the
One is,
Goacher. Is that
I
the
don't
brand, I
know.
think?
There's one that was
It has like
brown.
the funniest like slogan. It's like for fishing fun. It's worse than that. I can't remember, but you know how all the
Yeah.
funny like Temu products have like ridiculous sayings.
Yeah. But I want to like do a video. It's like $5 rod versus 20-inch fish or something like that. Cause I think that's like a funny
Yeah,
video to do.
totally. Yeah, that's a great idea.
But the weather's so bad right now that I wouldn't dare go up. It takes me like now, I used to live closer, but now to get to the stream where that happened, it takes me like 3 hours and change or more. I don't even know off the top
Oh,
of my head.
because you moved further south.
Yeah. So for me, it's
Yeah.
like now if I'm going to go to that stream, I have to like know that it's going to be decent because I don't want to drive that far. And then it's like totally
Yeah.
iced up and
It
everything.
could be
But
frozen over. Yeah.
it
Does
probably
that
wouldn't
dump
be,
into
but
a lake or something?
no, it doesn't. It's just a
Really?
weird stream. I don't know why.
Wow.
Well, I do
That's
know why,
crazy.
but I'm not going to say why the fish are that big because if I did, people would be like, aha, I knew that was where that was.
Yeah,
um,
totally.
but no, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'll film that eventually. I also have this. Look at this. You think you could throw this on a Tenkara rod?
Holy shit.
That's
Is that
the
that's obviously a musky fly, yeah.
yeah. It's the supposedly according to when I googled biggest musky fly. That's because the video idea is like throwing the biggest musky fly
Is
for
that
musky. It's like a
how
15-inch
is that like
fly or
I was
16.
gonna say that's like over a foot long, huh?
Oh yeah.
Holy crap.
Um,
Is that like
it's
a
so
lead
big.
head on it?
No, this is like like a rod tube like piece. It's like
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh,
yeah.
wow, yeah.
It's interesting. I can't wait to throw it and see if a muskie will actually eat it. That's gonna be a crazy
Yeah.
video though. If I can accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish, that
That
is.
would be that'd be really cool. I mean, I could see it happening. I've never fished for muskie in my life, but I could
We
see
need
it
to get you
happening.
out here and get you on a muskie, dude.
That'd be
had
fun,
someone-
dude. I would
I
love
had
to.
someone I had someone ask me like, "Do you think you could catch a muskie on a Tenkara rod?" I was like, "Are you out of your mind?" But at the same time, I was like, "Has it ever been done?" Because if it's never been done, I would be willing to try because that would be kind of
I
sick.
Yeah, I know the Rodzilla rod that I was talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Like for a while, the owner of that company was kind of like gathering photos of people's like craziest catches, and I can't remember if it was either like a big northern or like a medium-sized muskie that I do believe someone has caught on one of those.
I mean, it doesn't surprise. Pike would make sense
I
because they're
think,
kind of just suicidal sometimes. Like they just go crazy for
yeah,
flies or bait,
yeah,
whatever you want to throw for them. Um,
yeah.
but
I think the hardest part, honestly, would like, especially if you had the right rod, wouldn't necessarily be like fighting the muskie. I'm like assuming it's like what's a normal size muskie and that you've been catching?
let's say like
30,
the average is maybe like 35-ish inches.
35. So I feel confident that you could, as far as the power of the fish, that you could land a 35-inch
Yeah,
muskie. I think the hardest part would be like actually like hooking one in the first place, because like I know you
you
have to
can't
cover
strip
like
set.
so much water. So like what would you even do with a Tenkara rod? Like just kind of cast it up against the bank and like give it some twitches and just like you'd have to get really lucky, I think, to like
Yeah.
get it on that muskie because you're covering such small amount of water. Yeah, that'd be the hardest part, I think.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And just like
Yeah.
the hooking them, I think, would be nearly impossible, because like with musky fishing, like fishing, the one thing you don't want to do is like trout set, because muskie have super bony mouths. So like getting the hooks into the mouth can be very difficult. So I think you'd run into trouble there as well. But
I see.
I'm not going to try it because I can't. It's hard enough for me to catch muskie as it is.
Yeah. I was going to say, really bored, just stick to regular muskie videos. It might be really too much of a challenge.
For sure. What's your favorite species of fish to catch? I mean, let's assume it's trout. I assume it's trout, right? What's been your favorite?
I would say it's actually smallmouth.
Oh, I was wrong. I think you've actually told me that before, so that makes sense.
Dude, I just have like a nostalgia for... So like before I got into Tenkara or fly fishing, like I used to spin fish a lot.
Yeah.
I grew up in upstate New York, and I used to fish for walleye there. Mm-hmm. And then like I went with my uncle. He was always trying to eat the walleye. So like our bycatch would be like huge smallmouth, like insane smallmouth bass fishery. Like I think like the pro like bass tournaments go there and stuff. But
yeah.
So we would regularly catch like 2-3 pound smallmouth and then on up from there. But that was when I was younger, so I always liked that. But then when I was like in my 20s, I was living in Virginia, and my wife and I would go out to like the Potomac River and stuff like that, and target smallmouth. And man, just like when they're on, and just like how hard they fight, and just how voracious they are. Just they'll bite anything. I really, really love smallmouth. And now that I can't have access to smallmouth really easily here in Colorado, like I miss them even more. It's stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just miss like that time in my life where I was just like fishing for smallmouth, and like it was kind of newer to fishing and stuff. Like it just feels good.
Yeah. Now when Andrew comes out here, like back out east now, he'll be like, I don't really want to catch a brown trout, but I'd love to catch a native brook trout or a muskie or a smallmouth. And I'm like, all right, cool, fine with me,
Yeah.
Just because he's got so many trout around. What's your favorite species of trout to catch, or type of trout to catch, I should say?
Oh man, I literally like debate this all the time. I think like a big, beautiful brown has probably got to take number one.
Mm-hmm.
I like the places where they can live in like smaller creeks and stuff. I think that's cool. And like, which is kind of what I'm fishing most of the time, really, are places where like, browns can live. But I like that, like, you can just get a random, like, much larger brown out of a place that you weren't really expecting it. Whereas like other fish species, I feel like are a little more consistent. So, just like kind of tactically like getting a fly into the right place and like up under a bank or whatever, and then like the random like big brown comes out and bites it. Like I think that's pretty cool.
It is addicting.
Yeah, totally. Rainbows, I like how they fight. They're fun, but I feel like you never really know if they're like stocked or wild. Like
I
don't know.
I agree.
Brookies out west, not so much, just because they're not native here and they're never big. Occasionally I'll go fish some places in Rocky that are really, really pretty, and I'll catch brookies, and I still have fun doing that. But and then cutthroat obviously are awesome. I love that they eat dry flies all the time. They're really really beautiful in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
I would see, now I've listed all the species I told you.
Yeah, now that you've listed all the trout species.
I was literally I realized this as I was literally just about to talk about Gila trout.
I was gonna say, go ahead to the Gila trout. And then...
yeah.
Have you caught the Apache? I don't remember.
No.
Okay.
No, I need to.
You'll get obsessed with those too, real quick. You'll be like, yes, the Apache is my favorite as well. They kind of look like brown trout, to be honest.
It's possible, yeah. Yeah, I remember you saying that it was kind of hard to like be like, it is weird. It's weird. Like when I was catching those Gila too, I was like, I know these are Gila trout. I know that they're literally, this is a Gila trout creek. I'm where they live. But like, just like when you haven't seen them with your own eyes, it's like, is this like a weird little rainbow? Like I can't quite tell.
My first Apache trout, we were catching a bunch of brook trout, and I caught an Apache. And when it was flopping around in the water, it went like 10 inches, 11 inches. It was flopping around in the water. I was like, I didn't know there's brown trout in here. And it wasn't until like I was like looking at the fish in the water, I was like, Andrew, I think I caught an Apache. I was like, because it didn't have like the red spots that brown trout have. It had like some white tipped fins that was slightly different. But like the overall look, like like just your knee-jerk reaction was flopping around, you put it in the net, it's like, oh, there's brown trout in here. And when you really look at it, you're like, wait a minute, no, this is an Apache trout.
Yeah.
I think cool. that I liked the Apache and the Gila trout, but as far as like beauty goes, those were like, in my opinion, they were just not the prettiest trout that I've ever seen. Yeah. Like they're just a lot of times, like I've caught a lot of trout before that like aren't supposed to be quote unquote pretty, like a Lahontan cutthroat. I've caught a couple of those, and like nobody's like, oh, Lahontan cutthroat are so pretty, but then I catch them, I'm like, these fish are incredible. Same with totally. Like Colorado River cutthroat and so on and so forth. And so I thought it was going to be the same with like Gila and Apache, and I caught them. I was like, I mean, they look like a different variation of a rainbow trout or whatever they are or were, and I just wasn't. It was fun catching them, but as far as beauty goes, I'm not gonna like talk them up and say that they were the most beautiful trout I've ever seen.
Yeah, they have an understated beauty for sure, but you gotta.
That's a nice way to put it.
I think that. Yeah.
I'm like,
I keep it PC for the Gila and the Apache trout, Oh
yeah. Oh, well, just to be very clear, if there's any people from like New Mexico, Arizona, or whoever that like love Apache and Gila trout, I love them to death. I think they're like the coolest fish ever. Genuinely, like. Oh yeah. After fishing for them, the places they live are literally.
Oh my god.
Astounding. So cool. They're beautiful. Yeah. It's like the roughest country ever. It's crazy to think that there's even trout that live there. Coolest fish ever, but. Let's not pretend like they're also the prettiest fish ever. They can be cool. They can be really cool, and they don't have to be beautiful. They can just be their own thing.
Yeah, like a smallmouth bass.
Yeah, exactly. But I think smallmouth bass can be pretty though. I've caught some pretty smallmouth bass. I've caught some ugly ones, but I've got some pretty smallies. Muskie are the same way. Yeah. Like I think a lot of times muskie.
Yeah, muskie can be crazy pretty, or they can just be like really pale.
If they're pale and bland, you can say they're not the prettiest fish on earth. But then occasionally you'll catch like a really pretty muskie, and you're like, you know what? Fair play.
Yeah.
Have any goals for the YouTube channel coming up, or like do you want to do this full time one day? Like, what's your goals with the channel? What's your this is like a job interview. What are your 5-year goals?
Yeah, I mean, I think with my YouTube channel is I'm just so good at it that's my biggest downfall,
Yeah,
that's classic job interview tactic.
Yeah, what was the job interview thing? That's like when you say to like what are your weaknesses with your YouTube channel? Be like, I would say it's just too good, and I care too much about the content.
I try too hard. I'm too invested.
I try too hard.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah, man. I would love to do this full time. Like that is. I think as like a creative person my whole life, like that is like the absolute dream to be able to make money doing something that is creative and like something that I really enjoy. So yeah, I would love that. Big thing this year is to try to keep the momentum going that my channel currently has been enjoying. I've been doing my videos have been doing pretty dang well, relatively, and I want to try to keep consistent. So that's like the number one goal is to try to just like, because I have like 20 to 25 videos on deck right now, like filmed, just so like really waiting to be edited.
You should be posting one a week. You could post one a week for half a year.
If I post 3 a month, it will last me like 9 months. I already did the math. I was like, that gets me to September. And I'm like, by September, like I will have filmed like 20 more easily. Right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that would be the goal if I can stay motivated, is to do like 3 a month.
Yeah.
As like, because I have a full-time job too. And I'm a dad, so I've got a 9-year-old son. So, it's hard to carve out time. I do, but it's a struggle.
For sure.
So I think 1 a week currently is a bit of a stretch. 3 a month is probably a slight stretch, but one that I would like to try to do, and at bare minimum, like every 2 weeks I need to be putting out a video. So that's definitely the goal. Pretty much all my new stuff is filmed with rod and reel. Mm-hmm. That's all that stuff I have on deck.
Yeah.
And we already kind of talked about this, but I've really been enjoying it, and want to kind of continue that path going forward. I have, I think, a couple rods headed my way. I'm gonna get a 5-weight 10-footer, the new Orvis Recon, which I think should fit in, because right now I have a 3-weight fiberglass rod from Moonlit, which is a cool little company, and that rod is a ton of fun. Definitely more like, obviously like more of a small stream rod, but I love the feel of it. And then I have the 4-weight superfine graphite, which is 7'11".
That was in
That's
your
also
last
like
video.
pretty. Yeah, that's what I caught that like 20-inch brown on, which was way above my pay grade as far as like, because like, I mean, like that was literally the biggest fish I've ever hooked on a. It was within like a couple months of like even learning how to cast, right?
Yeah.
So it was like I landed it luckily, but it was it was scary.
Yeah.
But I love that Orvis superfine rod because it's like it's pretty perfect honestly for like everything that I fish, because I'm always fishing those kind of medium creeks that like the biggest fish you might find would be maybe like 18 would be a real prize, maybe 20 if like things are crazy. So I liked that last video because it kind of showed that I could land something that size.
Yeah.
Anyways, I want to fish some bigger rivers, not necessarily as popular rivers. I'm not going to the tailwaters necessarily or anything. Don't get crazy here, but I do fish some like kind of medium sized rivers where like a longer rod and bigger fish are pretty common. So
yeah, for sure.
Want to do that. But yeah, man, just trying to stay consistent, trying to I did a video where I went to like a desert slot canyon like 2 videos ago. And that was probably my favorite video that I've ever put out. And what I did with that video was like, just like the whole video was just about the place. It like the fishing was, which is what I've always said in my mind, it's like for me, it's about the place, and the fishing is kind of like the thing that the lucky, happy thing that like brought me to that place.
Yeah.
And it's like a hobby that I enjoy and it's satisfying and stuff, but like it's more so about the place. So in that YouTube video, I filmed myself hiking and all this other stuff, and just like the nature, and I want to continue going more in that direction if I can, just kind of like really carve out that niche of like being all about the place. So,
yeah. That's
a general
those slot
trend.
canyon videos are always cool. I gotta go. We'll have to go there and film something together someday.
Yeah, man.
Because it's just such a unique place to even fish for trout in general. Yeah. Kind of gives off the same vibes as like the Gila trout or the Apache trout. And that like you'll be walking up one of those creeks, I'm like, there's not trout in here. There's no way. And then you'll be like up there and you'll be like, yep, still haven't seen any trout yet. And I'm like, it looks like you're fishing a trickle of water in a desert, so not shocked. And then all of a sudden you catch a brown trout and you're like, aha. And I'm like, what is even going on here? Why is that?
Yeah.
So yeah, I enjoy those videos. I also think I enjoy them though because they're like so much different than what I do. Like that just is so far out of the realm of like any of the fishing I do around here, or even the fishing I do when I go out west is usually not that style. So it's really cool content. I was about to say something else and I totally forgot what it was. I'm going to go on to the next question that I had, which is, what is any like cool trips that you have coming up? Like what's your next trip or the coolest trip that you're excited to take?
Yeah, there's a lot of ideas that I just, jot down like as like generally that I want to go do. I'm always driving to everywhere that I go. I don't really like fly anywhere, so I don't have any like legit trips like set in stone, but definitely going to get back out and film another one of those desert style videos this spring. Being in the West here too, like I really don't love fishing in the wintertime here, and like really most stuff is frozen over. Yeah. So I try to stretch out like what seasons I have as much as possible. So usually in like mid-May to late May is when I can get out to the desert. So I'm going to be exploring a totally different creek there for that one, which I haven't been to before. So I'm excited about that. I've seen some posts of some pretty decent sized browns on like a old like blog spot, like a trip report kind of thing. Yeah. So I'm hopeful about that. And in the summertime, a bunch of new stuff. But I do want to get up to Montana for the first time. So I've been up to like the Bighorns in Wyoming plenty of times, but I've never been just across the border. So I want to try to make that a goal and get up there, explore around. I also really want to film a video in Yellowstone someday. The crowds kind of scare me off in general, like I don't want to go mess around with that because I really do really like being away from crowds. But
Yeah.
I think like filming like bison and geysers and like all that kind of crazy stuff, and then like catching some fish that like uh, swim in I think it's the fire hole that like goes through the middle
Yeah.
there, would be really cool.
Yeah,
So that's a dream.
when I went to Yellowstone, I think the fire hole was shut down. The only river that was open when
Because it was
I
too
was
hot.
yeah, the water was too low. They didn't have enough snowpack, and I was
Too
there
low, yeah.
in August, I believe, and they had just shut down. The only river that I could have legally fished was the Yellowstone. I didn't really fish much in there. I bought the license or whatever you needed to fish Yellowstone. Maybe I casted somewhere once or twice. But
Yeah.
there was just a lot of people. There was actually a decent amount of people fishing it as well.
Was there? Yeah.
And I thought about fishing some like little like tribs or like little creeks or something, but I don't know. I didn't end up doing it. Also, kind of like
Was that your trip there last year?
yeah, they kind
Like
of
2025?
scare you off with all the bear stuff too. Not that I'm necessarily scared of grizzlies per se, but I also respect them. And the idea of like walking back in the
Yeah.
wilderness is a little bit disheartening. Let's put it this way. My wife was
Same.
with me and she really didn't like the idea of it. So when I was like, hey, let's go to Yellowstone, she was like, isn't there grizzly bears there? And I was like, absolutely. And I hope I see one from the car.
Yeah,
I didn't see
totally.
one.
Yeah.
But then when I was talking to her, I was like, I want to go back and fish this creek. She was like, what about the bears? I was like, we bought like bear spray while I was there just so I could,
Yeah.
so that she would like have a peace of mind. Even though I was thinking, I was like, I don't know if this is actually going to stop a grizzly bear, but
Yeah. Might give you a chance, but
yeah, it would make me feel better. It gives you like peace of mind, I guess, which is really
Right.
a lot of times what you need when you're out in the wilderness. But no, it's beautiful. I like seeing all the bison and stuff. First couple times you see one, you're like, whoa! You're like turning around and stuff. We came in through like the north entrance of the park or whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
So like when we first came in, there's not like a ton of people up there. It's like a bison like bedded down on the side of the road, and we like slammed on the brakes, turned around, went back, took pictures of it and stuff.
Yeah.
Then we got into the main park and there's like herds of hundreds, and we're just like, oh,
Yeah,
we didn't need to
totally.
take a picture of that last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. That'd be a fun trip.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I've never been in general, which is a crime, you know.
Oh, you haven't been at
Especially
all?
as like no, I've never been. Yeah, and like I used to do like a lot of the wildlife photography
Mm-hmm.
and stuff, and like I mean that's kind of like the epicenter of that in like Jackson
It's
or like Grand Teton.
I didn't think
so-
I was gonna like it. I thought I was gonna like the Tetons better than Yellowstone, just because
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought that. I thought Yellowstone was gonna be like too touristy for me because as I said, I don't like people.
Yeah.
And then having been to Yellowstone, it's incredible. Like I put that up there with one of my personal favorite national parks I've been to, because it was like
Really.
all the different animals you get to see, like they're all like super tame, which is like relatively unrealistic in the anywhere else in the world. But the fact you're just
Totally.
like giant elk just feeding on the side of the road, bison that just like look in your window and then keep walking and stuff. It's cool.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I love the geysers. To me, were like the coolest part, because it's just like the fact that's an ancient volcano is like mind blowing.
It's crazy. Yeah.
So that was really cool. And then I went to when I went to Grand Teton National Park, I was like, meh, it was cool. It's all centered around that one big mountain range, and it's like once you see it,
Sure, yeah.
you're like driving, the main thoroughfare. It's like you're driving for like, I don't know how many miles it is, say like 40 miles. And you look to your right, it's the same mountain
Just like-
range, all 40
right
miles.
right
You
along
know
the
what I mean?
range. Yeah,
So it's like once you take a few pictures, you're like, all right, let's go find somewhere to stay the night. Like either you're staying in a hotel in Jackson or you're gonna camp around there or something. And camping in Yellowstone, miserable. Don't stay at a campsite, because there's like
Oh, you did say at a campground?
hundreds of people there, and they pack you like sardines. It's
Gosh,
not
yeah.
camping. It is not camping. I mean, you're camping, but like there's a tent probably 10 feet from you. It wasn't that
Oof.
fun.
Oof. Yeah.
So like if you're going to camp Yellowstone, you need to like whatever you got to do to like actually camp at like backcountry camp or whatever it is. That would be fun. But
Yeah.
what I did when I was there, if I was going to do it over again, I'd do something different. But yeah, it was
the
fun.
Grizzlies.
Yellowstone, I'd highly recommend. I mean, I think you should go to both, but yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been to Yosemite?
I've never been to Yosemite. I've
Oh.
actually never set foot in California.
Gosh, dude. Yosemite is my number one. so
Really?
far.
Is it just the scale of it in person is probably like you cannot convey it in photos and
It is
stuff?
unbelievable. You can look at as many photos as
Really?
you want. It will
Yeah.
not. It won't click until you drive into Yosemite Valley. When you drive into
Yeah.
Yosemite Valley and you get to see like El Capitan and like the Half Dome and all that stuff, like it is unbelievable. I mean, like you're sitting there like driving up Yosemite Valley. You have to like lean over out of the front of your window, and you can just
That's
barely
cool.
see like the top of El Capitan. You're like,
Yeah.
dude, and it's just one sheer rock face, and then like
That's amazing.
the falls are incredible.
Yeah.
The giant
You
sequoias, you have to see
did you
those. They are
Oh my God, I
literally
would love to. Yeah.
you go up there, you look at those, and you're like, oh, I've seen some big trees. I was like, I've seen some big trees. It's not going to be that
Yeah.
crazy. And it's like
Yeah.
the biggest tree you've ever seen is an average sized limb on one of those trees.
Wow.
Like it
Yeah.
is truly unbelievable. Like it looks like when you're going up to the one section, I can't remember what it's called. It's like one of the most famous sections of the to look at like the giant old growth sequoias. And when you're walking around the hill, because it's like a loop, you can walk like a 5 mile loop through the woods, and like you go on this
That's
loop,
so cool.
and like you look across and you can like see one of the giant sequoias,
Yeah.
and like it's so much bigger than every other tree around it that it looks like something out of like a comedy sketch. Like you're like a kid would draw like, what's a big tree look like? And he's like, woo, and it's just like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
can't be real. And you walk up to it and it's like, nope, that's a real giant tree that's 4,000 years old. So that's cool.
That sounds so cool. Yeah, that sounds
Insane.
so cool.
Yeah.
I would love to get out there. I would have really loved to fish in the and just visit in general the Pacific Northwest. Like I think fishing in the rainforest there would be incredible.
I'll be out there next month. Andrew's going to be in Washington for work for 2 months. So I'm going to go out there and try to
Cool.
catch a wild steelhead. I was saying native steelhead
Oh,
in the last podcast, and some guy from somewhere in the Pacific Northwest was like, actually, did we just call them wild steelhead? Because apparently they introduced so much of like the hatchery strain steelhead in there that now, although they do reproduce, the genetics are so jacked up that
diluted. Really?
calling them a native steelhead is a stretch. But I'm gonna catch at least steelhead in their native range, hopefully. Although I've heard
That's
it's
awesome.
tough. But
Yeah. See, that's the difference between you and me. I was thinking like I'll go there up to Olympic National Park and like catch a little coastal cutthroat and like
yeah,
film the ferns and I'm sure you'll do that too.
I'm
But like
sure.
you're
Yeah,
like, no, I'm gonna go catch a big steelhead. I'm like, oh hell yeah, that actually
I'm
sounds
already.
awesome.
I'm like trying to reach out to people. The guy that I work with, like with Guideline, I posted on my stories like, anybody have any like contacts in like
Yeah.
Washington for steelhead? And he texted me, he said, I've got contacts, and he was just sending me pictures of these steelhead. And I was like, all right.
What do you fish for them on? Like what weight? What kind of setup?
So what you're supposed to do, like the proper way, is to swing for them.
Okay,
So
yeah.
swinging is like the
And they're like those are like little what are those called?
they have
Intruders?
some of them are wet
No, I don't
flies
know.
and they have like some streamers and stuff.
Okay.
But you can't
Yeah.
use weighted flies, so all the weight has to be in your
Like legally?
line. What?
Is that like a legal thing? Like
I think
like,
I think it's a legality. I don't even think it's
I gotcha.
yeah. I think and they do it because there's not that many of them, so they're trying to protect them as much as possible. I think. I don't know. Don't quote me on any of this. Someone's gonna leave a comment and be like, "That's actually not true at all." But I know that's like
That's for the guides to figure out.
that's what the yeah, exactly. That's what the proper way to fish for them is in quotation marks.
Yeah.
But if you just want to catch one, you throw like beads or eggs, like on a fly rod, but you throw like egg flies or beads or something, and then you've got the people that
Just like under an indicator?
yeah, and then
Gotcha.
that's like the cheating way, but with a fly rod. And then
I see.
I think the way that you just catch them, if you just want to catch one for dinner, which I think you can do, maybe not, is you just throw like a actual egg sack on a spinning rod.
Oh.
So
Gotcha.
as I say that, I'm like, why would it be illegal for me to use weight on my fly line if they can catch
Right,
them?
yeah.
So maybe it's just like a purist thing, but
Maybe different waters though too. I mean like
Could be.
there could be different regulations and slightly different stretches of river or whatever.
could be. Yeah. I know there's some weird regs like in Washington, Oregon. They have some strict regs in the Pacific Northwest. It's like you know, like most of the small feeder streams that like you and I would love to fish, you legally can't fish. Like they're closed unless otherwise specified. So you can't like blue line there.
Steelhead specifically.
For anything.
Like
straight up shut down.
Is it during like steelhead like season though?
Some of them are shut down all year. Some of them are shut down during certain seasons. I think it's because they have like king salmon runs, they have steelhead runs, they have the kokanee salmon, they have chum salmon, they have all the different runs, and I think they just shut them down so people can't just like walk up a little creek and catch like a king salmon. I would assume would be like the logic behind it. It's like if no one's touching it, then the fish should be able to spawn and do their thing without issue.
Sure.
And then usually you can fish the main rivers pretty readily. And I guess the idea behind that is like if they're in the river, they're either done spawning or about to spawn, but either way they're not actively spawning. So so it's a little...
Man, that'd be cool to like walk up a little tiny creek, not even to fish it, but just to like see like big salmon in there in like little shallow water, clear water.
Did that. Andrew walked up a couple feeder tribs. He couldn't even fish them, but he would walk up these tribs and there'd just be like giant salmon in these tribs. He's like, that's cool.
That's so cool.
And then you just walk, because you can't fish them, but he just walk out and be like, oh, that was interesting. You know,
that's cool.
Just exploring, walking
Pacific
around
Northwest is a whole nother world, man.
Oh,
like
dude.
Just being close to the ocean and like the lushness and the fertility and the mushrooms and stuff. I'd have so much fun there.
I told Andrew I really want to camp, even though I'm going there in February, so it's like I don't know how the weather's going to be, but like there's some backcountry / like wilderness type sections on like the, you know, like in the Olympic Peninsula and stuff of some of these rivers that I can just imagine would just be like there's like 5-6 mile hikes up into like this remote backcountry section of these rivers. Like, can you imagine what that looks like? I can't even fathom what it would look like.
Paradise.
Period.
Yeah.
I don't care if I catch 0 fish. Just to go up there and camp would be insanity. So
yeah, it would.
Yeah. But anyways, I don't really. Those were all my questions. Plus, we're at a 1 hour and 26 minutes, so I feel like that's pretty good.
Time flies.
Yeah. So I guess we'll end this here. If you are one of the 3 people still listening to the podcast, then
thank you.
Check it. Wow. Thank you. First
Impressive.
of all, yeah. Second of all, check out Flicky Flies on YouTube. I'll leave your stuff and like a link in the description or something, or like,
cool.
Or if you could leave a comment on the video, I'll pin your comment. Like, hey, and I'll pin the comment. That way they can find you super easily and check you out. Anything else you want to promote? I know you sell some of your prints for your photos and some of that stuff.
I'll look forward to the three new subscribers. I'm really looking forward to that.
Dude, you're about to get the Wishing We Were Fishing podcast bump, dude. You're gonna be like, so I got
legendary.
2 new subscribers today, dude. Gosh, that's crazy.
No, it was cool coming out here. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, it was fun. You're the first guest ever.
That's pretty cool. I like it. Yeah, that's cool, man. Check the channel out. I have a website, flickyflies.com, that I sell nature photography prints on. So that's kind of like part of, you know, how I'm trying to raise some money on YouTube to support this thing is selling prints of my nature photography work. I also sell flies on there, just like staples, like guide flies, like waltz worms and jig streamers and stuff like that. So check that out. And otherwise, just thanks for listening, and thanks for having me on, John.
Sweet. Yeah, it was fun.